For the weather, this is all a nightmare. Of course, it's 40 degrees outside today, so thank God the air conditioning's working. And the Wi-Fi is working, which is really great. Hopefully, everybody will be very happy with that. So, Your Royal Highness, the Honourable Vice President, Ministers of Energy, Minister of Mines, Mineral Resources, public and private sector leaders, welcome to Barcelona for the 26th.
Hello guys and welcome back. As you know, I just came back from Barcelona. In fact, I came back earlier this week. And what happened in Barcelona? We had the Africa Energy Forum 2024. As you know, every year around the same time in June, you have this massive, huge conference, Africa Energy Forum. And it's one I think many people are waiting for because there's a lot of things happening there. And I know some of you may not have the time to travel there, or maybe you did, but it's always good to catch up and understand what really happened there and to get some other people's opinion. So what I want to do for you today is very simple. So I went there, so I spent a couple of days, very intense, and I just want to give you my impression of the conference, right? So just give you 5 key points that for you I believe would be important just to know, and you can compare with yours and figure out whether you had the same impression or not. By the way, this is a purely independent review of the Africa Energy Forum, right? So I've not been paid for that, just for let you know. I just want to share that with you so that we can actually compare notes. Is that okay? Excellent. So I'll talk to you in a second. So hello again, my name is Tony T. I am the founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa. So if you see me for the first time, what you want to know is we raise awareness about renewables energy in the African continent and across the globe. If you are a project developer, if you are an EPC company, if you are an investor or supplier, and you say, hey, listen, I really would like to tap into Africa, right? But I don't know how to go about it. Excellent. You come at the right door. I'd like you to reach out to me today. Book 15-minute call because what I want to do for you, I want to help you to grow your business. I want to show you how I can significantly help you to reduce your business development costs, but also fast track your customer acquisition process. How? I'm going to show you how we can use our awareness packages, and with that, there's 3 distinctive things that we can do for you. Number one, we help you to raise your visibility. As simple as that. It may sound simple, but it's crucial. I promise you, if you're struggling at the moment, part of the reason is your target audience just don't know you exist. We help you to fix this problem, which is the number one problem I think that you're having, right? So we help you definitely to raise visibility on your product and the services. More importantly, to the people that matter for you, your customers, right? So with that, what we help you then is to get the lead and from those leads to derive the sales. As simple as that. It may sound easy peasy, but hey, you still need to do it. And I know as I say that, you may be sometime unsure, right? Because maybe we've not had a chance yet to work together. That's not a problem. What I want to do is, spend some time with you, show you what we've done with other people, and demonstrate how I believe and I'm convinced that it would and could work for you. As simple as that. Just allow me 15 minutes and I'll talk to you and we can talk about that. Yeah? Excellent. So I just want to come back to AEF because as you know, so every year or almost every year, so I'll go to AEF. I go to AEF because it's one of the major conference about energy in Africa during the year, or if not the main conference, apart from just COP, right? And it's important just to go there to engage with the community, with the industry, to see where we are. And what I usually like to do, I've done it last year and I'm doing it this year again, is to give you my opinion so that you could see and know what happened there. You can compare that with your note. And if you were not fortunate enough to attend it, at least you get an idea of what was there so that next year you can make the choice whether or not to attend. Is it fair? So what I have for you here is 5 points. 5 points I want to develop, right? So 3 of them, like I say, those are very, let's say, positive point, and 2 where I would say area for improvement. Those from my friend from AEF and in just in general. And for example, the area improvement, that'd be good. Compare that with you as well to see whether you had about the same thing or not, right? Excellent. So let's just go with that. So AEF, it happened from the 24th, I believe 25th, sorry, 25th all the way to the 28th. And it's a buzzing conference, very busy, huge conference, very well known now in the industry. And usually I say to people, if you're looking, because I know we can't just go to all the conferences, isn't it right? So let's be honest with one another. So if you were to choose a couple of conferences during the year there where you want to go and you want to really making good use of your money, I would strongly recommend AEF, right? And you would understand why. So as we develop it. So what is the first point that I want to talk about regarding is AEF? So the first thing I want to talk about it's the fact that AEF was this year in Barcelona. So as you probably see, so you saw that, right? So last year it was in Kenya, but it's moved to Barcelona. So what I heard is we're meant to stay in Africa, but they had some circumstances to obviously change it, took it back to Barcelona. But this has a little impact on the conference in the fact that I thought so. That's my personal opinion. I don't know whether people would agree with that. That it was slightly less busy than last year, and the reason could be very simple because every time you're having those massive, huge conference about Africa in Europe, so you will invariably restrict some African people that would have liked to travel there just for the issue of visa. Visa is a major, major issue, right? So we need to recognize that. So that's one of the reasons why you will see people can always travel, and at time as well, the cost of the transport of transportation of the flight, possibly, but I don't think that's a big deterrent though. I think the visa thing is probably one of the things. And speaking to people from the conference there, so they believe, and I believe with them that AEF is so important nowadays, has such an important basically is in such important events during the year, rendezvous in the year that, and talking about Africa. So my preference is I prefer that we hold it in the continent because if we're talking about the future of the continent, we congregate people. So yes, it's nice to come to Europe. It's great. Barcelona is a beautiful, beautiful. I love Barcelona. It's a beautiful city, I must admit. Yeah. However, a lot of people believe like me that yes, so such a conference hold its place really in the continent of Africa. So that's where it should be. So I've been talking to a lot of delegates, that's what they find. And every time we do that in Europe, so we may be open to the fact that, okay, there may be not as many people as we would have liked that could attend it because you have the natural barrier of the visa, of the procedure, probably also the cost as well, yeah? So this is one thing that to put it there. But never mind that, it was still very, very buzzing. The energy was really, really high as usual. Great conversation. Clearly, like I say, you cannot get bored when you go to AF. It's like I say, it's a great conference, great place to be, to spend some time in, and you learn a lot. So, like I say, what you see in AEF, it's access to people that you won't find anywhere else. So it literally, so you'll be spending the rest of the year chasing those guys that you've met at the AEF because they will be in between flights, right? They're very busy people. So as I'll say, AEF, very, very important conference, but it was in Europe, so slightly less people than we used to see in Nairobi, and this was my observation. So let me know what you think. If you attended AEF, I'll be delighted to see what you found out about that. So what would be my second point then? So the second point that I want to talk about is the fact that yes, as I say, AEF definitely keep on growing his reputation and even rebuilding because obviously like all those big conferences, it's not just AEF. So they've taken a hit, when we had COVID, because we went to a period where people were afraid to go to conferences for right or wrong reason. Let's not debate that. But clearly, it has had an impact on the circuit of conferences, right? But now, what I could see, we really rebeing that back to where it used to be before COVID happened. And it's more and more popular. And I've come across a number of new players. So at the conference, they were excited. So they were happy, the people that we see. All they were saying, yeah, this is, I mean, that's a common that I've noticed. They were saying things like, well, This conference is very impressive. So there are the right kind of people we're looking to engage with here. So definitely that's one that we believe we want to keep on going. AEF is different than the other. So that's what they're saying. I myself I had conversations with at least three, if not four, people that I know who actually were new to AEF. They all had the same impression, right? So this is a great conference. So we like the type of people we're seeing there. So there's the right kind of people we want to engage with. They're the right investors, the regulators, the representative of countries. You get a sense that you not waste your time going there, right? So it's definitely time and money well spent. I know. I'm gonna say that AEF is not the cheapest conference out there. Let's be honest, but it's worth it. As I say, you're literally going to spend the rest of your time, the rest of the year, chasing those guys that you met at AEF. So from that, I think yes, it's still a great conference, and yeah. So the new player were very, very positive about that, and we keep on seeing more new player, right? So you have the traditional, the by the way, it's funny because these are the guys that tend to always sponsor AEF, and they won't leave the spot because they know that in terms of visibility. I'm talking about visibility. That's what this guy doing. The visibility is there, so they hold the spot. They will keep on holding that probably for the next 10 years, right? Because they know that it's such an important spot. So it's not easy as a new player to find your feet there because you have those big guys taking. But hey, it's still a good conference to go to, and who knows, you may have the opportunity at some point to do that. My friend from AF, I'm sure they will become creative to create new avenue for new people as well, just to showcase themselves, right? So this is one thing I would say. Yep, that is the second point. So we have still a lot of new players, and those new players, from what I know, conference they had, they were very happy. Yeah, so I talked to a wind developer. I talked to an up and coming consulting firm, so specializing in financial modeling, for example. I talked to a CNI solar developer in West Africa. They all were very impressed. That's just an example of it, and there were more. Yeah, they always saying that it's the right type of people, the right kind of conference. We're happy with what we're seeing. Yeah, but and I was telling them, listen, guys, in Kenya was even bigger than that, and in South Africa next year, which is where it's going to be, Cape Town. I know it's going to be even bigger. Yeah, so excellent. So that's what we see for AEF. Now, what are the third thing that I want to see about what I want to talk about AEF? What would you guess? Why are people going to AEF for? As I say, they going to AEF. They want to meet new people. They want to network, but they want to make deals. They want to make money. That's what we're all about, right? Let's be honest. At AEF, they give you a run for your money, and this is what you get. So AEF, as far as I know, is still the place to get a lot of deals happening. Yeah, I've seen it. What is impressive when you go to AEF, they have, like I say, a number of meeting rooms that they load. And you will have, I remember a couple of years ago, I was talking to, I think it was APSA, right? So one of the company had meeting room. I'm told they also had meeting. Yeah, they had meeting room here. I remember I bumped across a good friend of mine, one of the director, Shirley, at APSA. And they were telling me how busy they are. It's literally like this office day for them. They are meeting after meeting. And that's normal. If you imagine, guys, you're in a place, right? You have all the right people there. You have the investor there, you have the developer there, you have the manufacturer there, the regulator from or the country representative there. Everybody's there. You can just put them in a room and get things done. How many times would you have this opportunity, especially if you face to face? So it's still the place where lots of deal happen, and that is very, 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 very impressive. So, and let me just mention to you a couple of them. Yeah. So a lot more happen. I'm just going to mention some of them so that you see the kind of deals that we see yet. So they have been releasing some press releases, but like I said, there's many others. You have, for example, ATGI or ATG in Global Lake. Yeah. So on the first day of AEF, so they jointly announced a collaboration work here. So whereby the ATGI will support the 35 megawatt Global Lake Menengai geothermal project with their liquidity cover, which is the RLSF, which stands for the Regional Liquidity Support Facility. So what is the RLSF? So just in short, it's a joint initiative of ATGI, KfW, and also you have NORAD, which is the Norwegian agency. And it's a credit enhancement instrument which is available to IPPs that sell electricity generated by their project to state-owned utility. And RSF is offered in ATGI member countries, that signed the RSF memorandum of understanding. So it's a liquidity facility, right? And it's very, very well sought after. So ATGI, so they've decided we're going to support the 35 megawatt Global Lake project, right? Geothermal, so which is a great news. That's an example of deal that happened, and they signed the MOU there, right? So a lot of a great handshaking event, and obviously that's what obviously makes conference, yeah. So another example of a deal that happened at AEF. Like I said, those deals obviously they started before, right? But they sort of conclude at AEF. It's good to know, and it's the IDC. So they concluded, three landmark deal, showing that they are serious in terms of sustainable development and in terms of empowering as well initiative in South Africa. So IDC, which is the Industrial Development Corporation, is in South Africa. So they supported three projects. You have the Dawn Hawk project. We talked about here 120 megawatt solar project with AMIA Power. AMIA, one of the main player these days, right? So I went into the stand just to say hello to a few friends that I have there. So they're gonna be the main uh, developer there. 51% they're holding the project, and the other it's split between a local developer, which is 100% black owned. I think women black owned, and the community. And so that's one of the projects that IGC is going to be supporting. The Pearly Green project, which is a large portfolio project. We can talk about up to 1 gigawatt. I believe that's what it is. And Meadows project, which is a 128 megawatt hybrid project where you have solar, you have onshore wind, and also lithium ion battery. So clearly, IDC were also there to announce it and obviously probably as a finalize some conversation. As you can see, it's very busy. The deals happen. And last but not the least, let me mention, for example, as well the NG. So what the leader in off-grid electricity is NG Energy Access. So they were announcing that they officially commenced start the construction of 15 mini grid in Zambia, Eastern Province, and this was part of the transformative program, which is to increase electricity access, to the region, to that province, and it's funded by the EU, right? And what was quite impressive that so they started the construction of those 15 mini grid in Zambia, but they're actually targeting to reach 60 mini grid by 2025. So we're talking about, essentially what it's actually quadruple the number, by 2025, which is just 2 years down the line. Yeah. So which what am I saying? No, yeah, no, no. Come on, Tony. It'll be shit. It's not 2 years down the line. Basically, 12 months down the line, which is impressive. So yeah. So we can. So as you can see, AEF is still the place where things happen, right? So, and that is quite fantastic. There's many other deals like that happen to the conference. So it's a 4-day conference. If you go there, definitely you're gonna you're gonna enjoy it. My advice to you is there's so many things happen. When you go there with a purpose. Know exactly what you want to do. For me, for example, like I say, I know that we're going to spend only reduced times 2 days as opposed to 4 days as I usually would do, because I had to attend the Action Awards. So I had, agenda very, very packed, focus, there's a number of people that I wanted to see. Obviously, you leave the door open for opportunities for other meetings that are impromptu, and I've had a few of those. But you gotta be focused, and I managed to achieve almost everything I wanted to do, right? So that's how you need to approach this company, because there's a lot happening, right? And also you're catching up with good old friends. So if you're not careful, like I say, you don't really tap into those opportunities that are just basically uh, at your doorstep. But that's kind of that you see. So now let me continue with the other 2 points, which are the main area for improvement that I want to talk about. But before that, let me share with you some of the entertainment, because that's what we also see at the AEF, entertainment, right? Some of the entertainment that we saw there, and I come back to you, and we're gonna carry on. Yeah, excellent. Yes, that's what I see. So as you could see, so great entertainment that we had there. I guess probably I don't know if an illusion, dance. I have no idea. Obviously, come from Spain. That dance. I don't know exactly what part of Spain, but it was very interesting. Yeah. So and fun to watch. So let me just carry on, right? So no, I know. I wasn't showing up for the red dress. Obviously, they were beautiful ladies, right? So I can't say the opposite. But hey, but it was fun to watch. So let me carry on with the other two area, the other two point that I want to talk about, which is for me our area for improvement. So for AEF to get even to keep getting better and better, yeah. And these 4 points kind of come circle back a little bit to the first that I mentioned when I was saying that conference was done in Europe, was great buzzing, but because it was done in Europe, not a lot of people, slightly less people attended compared to Kenya, especially a lot of African were left were left over, and one of the guys are young people, and we couldn't get the Yes Summit because AEF they launched the Yes Summit that was about a couple of years ago. It was in Brussels, I believe, and then they did a big one in Nairobi. And for me, it's a great initiative. I support that, which is all about youth. So Energy Summit, that's what it stands for. Yes. So basically, getting young people involved, it's so critical because, as I say, the continent belongs to all of us, but most likely to the younger one because they are the one that's going to be driving that forward. And we can't be designing solutions without having them being part of the conversation. Yeah, I know there's a way to that. Yes, they're still in experience, they're still learning, but we need to get them in this conversation, right? So we couldn't do that this year. So I guess for a few challenges, some of them will be visas. And I thought it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. I personally believe that going forward, they've started a great thing, AEF, but they just need to continue and keep making sure that Yes Summit is part of it because we need those guys with those young leaders. Yeah, they need to rub shoulders with as I say, with industry leaders, especially those young guys from Africa. So for me, they were a little bit left over, right? So that is one thing I believe. So I know they're coming back for Cape Town. That's fine, but I just want to make sure that even when those conferences go back into Europe, they yeah, I think there needs to be some component of Youth Summit that I kept. I would say so, yeah, because that's what it's all about. We need to get them involved, absolutely, and and I don't. I've not seen. I've not looked it up closely as I'm thinking about that. Maybe also making sure that they think like involvement of young people, so have gender specific conversation because we need more women involved in the conversations. Yeah, we need that. I don't know if there was in the program, so I must admit I haven't checked that properly. But given the benefit of the doubt, I'm sure they would have done it. But especially Yes Summit, that's where for me I believe that we have the biggest opportunity not to miss for Cape Town. Yeah, so in South Africa. So what is now the last point that I want to talk to you about? So would you guess? So let me share that with you. I must admit, okay, as a proper typical African man, I like good foods. Probably you too, yeah. So, and I must admit, I was slightly disappointed with the food. Yeah, I know Spain has great cuisine, but I couldn't see much of it. And importantly as well, we talk about African conference. I didn't see much of, you know, African African food there. Again, for me, that's another missed opportunity. If we talking about the continent of Africa, hey, we need to play the game all the way through. So I don't mind having a cuisine from the host country. That's absolutely fine. But there's got to be, yeah, something as well representing Africa, Africa as well. So even in the cuisine. So yeah, so because that could be a great opportunity for some chef from Africa to expose they know how the savoir faire, and get all those leaders of the industry, all those top guys to taste it, to embrace it, to enjoy it. So even African myself to enjoy it, yeah. So two things, yeah. The food for me wasn't exceptional. It was okay-ish. I've been to Spain before, and I know Spain has great food. I just thought it was okay. Yeah, so I wasn't impressed at all. No, to say the least. Yeah, so it was okay. So I don't know what people say. So my advice is probably improving the taste, the quality of the food offered, and making sure as well that we have a better representation of African food there because they want any. Yeah, so as far as I know, maybe there was an area. If there was an area where it was actually kept for some VIP people. Okay, that's fine. I probably missed it then. That means I need to become a VIP, but it wasn't there. So that's something I believe that needs to be improved. So these are the 5 points that I wanted to share with you guys. So first of all, I talked about the fact that AEF was in Europe, was still buzzing, was still great, although I acknowledge that there were less people than in Kenya, but still great energy. That's fine. The second thing, I talked about the fact that there's a lot of new players as always, and those new players from the little conversation I've had, the little survey that I had, were very impressed. Convinced that AF is the right kind of platform for them to come back to because they meet the right people and they can see that they invest in their money into the right thing. The third thing, a lot of deals, still happen. Yeah, so I talked about the HT and Global X, talk about the IDC, I talk about NG Energy Access. Lots of deals happen, right? So that's still the place where you see business happening. So on that, it's worth going to. And number four, I talked about the fact that in here, unfortunately, we couldn't see much of Yes Summit because I believe it was in Europe, so restricting the capability of bringing a lot of young people from Africa in here. Yeah. And number five, talk about the cuisine, man. We got the food, man. We got the food. We need to get food that is representative. So I think the level that AF has reached in terms of content and reputation and all that, the food should be a better quality. So that's why I would say, not only that, better quality food from the host country, but more importantly, we need to have representation African cuisine, even if it's not in Africa. Very, 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 very important. So that's what I want to say. So that's what I had to say for you guys for today. So let me know what you think. Let me know about if you want AF, what's your feedback? I love to hear. And don't forget, feel free to reach out to me, connect. Yeah, if you couldn't talk to me before, because I met a lot of people that I was meeting for the first time because they see me on videos, LinkedIn and YouTube. Great to connect with you. If I wasn't able to talk to you, but you wanted to talk to me, please, 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 I would implore you, reach out to me, DM me, and let's have a conversation, right? So I'll be delighted to see that. But for the time being, guys, so keep supporting, like, comment, and share with people that you know. And I'll see you next week, for the one day, one concept idea, as usual. But before we go, I have another little gift for you, right? Another part of the entertainment that we enjoy there. So this time, it is African. Take care, guys. Bye bye.